The Westboro Baptist Church of Topeka, Kansas has come into the media over the past few years because of their ongoing protests at the funeral of American soldiers who fought in Iraq. They firmly believe God hates fags, and God is punishing America by killing soldiers in Iraq because of our stance in support of gay rights. Many gay rights advocacy groups and local citizen-formed groups have also rallied together to counter protests of the Westboro Baptist Church for their appalling homophobic hatred. It is their hope to block the WBC from getting the media attention they want in order to spread their message of hate, and also to protect the families of those who've lost a loved one and only wish to mourn in peace. I feel everyone is entitled to speak their mind, but not at the expense of someone else's pain and suffering. That's called exploitation, not freedom of speech. The WBC is using the funerals of our fallen heroes to spread their message of hate through the media because they know the topic will get a rise out of people. Many of these soldiers were not even gay, and it sends a misleading message to the public. Meanwhile, the family is left with mounting legal bills, stress, and anxiety of trying to clear their loved one's name, which has been smeared across the media. That is not freedom of speech, it's defamation of character. There's nothing wrong with protesting, but in this case the message is hate. No different than a KKK's protest or a neo-Nazi protest. Wishing hate and harm unto others by protesting with malicious words like God hates fags is a form of mental assault. It inflicts pain both mentally and emotionally like verbal abuse. This type of hatred expands over time and is often followed by hate crimes, no different than the ones history has proven to us by the KKK and the Nazi movement in America, all of which have been protected by the First Amendment and continue to hide the little cowards under that umbrella of protection. Albert Snyder had won a $5 million jury verdict against the Reverend Fred Phelps and members of the Westboro Baptist Church for intentional infliction of emotional distress and violating the sanctity of the funeral of his son, Lance Corporal Matthew Snyder. But the judgment was later reversed by a federal appeals court panel that ruled that despite the offensive nature of the protests conducted by the Westboro members, their activities were protected by the First Amendment. That was quoted by the Christian Science Monitor. I appreciate brave people like Albert Snyder and the parents of Matthew Shepard who've stood up to the WBC and their lunacy. It was an unfortunate case to have lost, but I hope this brings light on many of the modern adjustments we need to make to our ancient Constitution. We no longer live in the 18th century, and there are a lot more sinister people we need protection from. I may not be able to make the WBC stop hating gays, but I will certainly participate in a counter-protest if this happens in a city near me. Our Constitution was designed to protect the people, and if it cannot do that, then we need to change the law and continue to counter-protest until they have stopped, or deal with the repercussions of million-dollar lawsuits. I think Phelps should have been sued for defamation of character and exploitation. Perhaps Mr. Snyder would have won and be peacefully mourning his son's loss rather than dealing with the malicious beliefs of the Westboro Baptist Church.